Good morning. This is Wayne Cymbaluk from the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District with your conservation report. There still appears to be a common misconception that producers only need to get approval for drainage maintenance or improvement activities through the Farm Service Agency and or the Natural Resources Conservation Service. I just wanted to remind you that the approval that you get from those agencies only covers your eligibility to participate in the USDA farm programs and nothing else. Their approval does not address any of the local, state, or federal requirements associated with drainage activity. Over and over, I see producers shocked and outraged that they got themselves into trouble with the state's Wetland Conservation Act by relying solely on the information provided them by NRCS and FSA. Often the first argument we hear is that NRCS gave us permission to do the work, so we should be okay, right? Well, no, not necessarily. One of my roles with the SWCD is to create the wetland restoration orders that get issued by the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources and served by one of their conservation officers. If a violation is discovered, one order goes to the property owner, so if you are the renter that directed the work, the owner will get one. Another goes to the responsible party and or the contractor, or both, depending on who directed and who did the work. The order outlines what will be required to bring the violation back into compliance. This typically means bringing the site back to the pre-altered condition. That can get very expensive in a quick hurry. So if you just spent thousands putting tile where NRCS said you would not get into trouble with their programs and did not check with the other agencies, you may have to render the tile useless or remove it. If you dug or even cleaned a ditch or filled a low area, these are also often considered violations that will have to be restored. Have you ever tried to reestablish a native plant community? It's not cheap and it requires lots of maintenance. Depending on the violation, an engineer may need to be hired to fix the problem. I have one gentleman that created a new ditch which partially drains a 20-acre wetland. He had to hire an engineer to do the design and sign off on the work so that it would be guaranteed that the ditch plug would last in perpetuity. Well, the plug was installed last year, but it failed this spring with all the large rainfall events that we had. He was issued a citation and now has a court date. The area has a large watershed area flowing through it, so in this case, the restoration cost may be large enough to cause a bankruptcy. If you are not thorough and cover all your bases, you could be in for a not very nice surprise. Our office would rather work with you to install best management practices to help you protect your topsoil, which protects our water resources, instead of wasting each other's time and money fixing a violation that could have been easily avoided in the first place. Also, the Minnesota Erosion Control Association, in partnership with the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, will be hosting a municipal separate storm sewer system workshop on Thursday, October 9th, located in room 127 of the Stearns County Soil Water Conservation District building from 9 to 3:30. The fee for the course is $85. The one-day event will cover what is new with the municipal separate storm sewer permit that recently went into effect. It will help communities plan and implement a successful public participation, outreach, and education program for stormwater pollution-related issues. The workshop will also be a training tool for cities and townships on what is considered an illicit discharge. It will also help communities and townships come up with a process on how to handle illicit discharges if they find any in their jurisdiction. The workshop will also cover construction site runoff topics and good housekeeping strategies for municipal operations. The audience for this event would include communities that have a municipal separate storm sewer permit and or have to implement a wellhead protection plan. It could also be for anyone interested in learning more about stormwater pollution prevention in general. If you're interested in learning more about this workshop, please give us a call. Hope to see you there. This past winter, the Stearns County Soil Water Conservation District was awarded a grant to hire a field crew with the Conservation Corps of Minnesota and Iowa for the 2014 season. The Conservation Corps hire out their 4 to 5 person crews to help local organizations improve and protect and enhance water qualities in our lakes, rivers, and streams. Their field crews are made up of young adults between the ages of 18 and 25, and they help us out during the summer by providing assistance to property owners that had worked with our office to install conservation practices. The practices that the field crew helped maintain consisted of native plantings in association with shoreline restorations, prairie establishment, and rain gardens. The maintenance provided by the field crew is important to the success of our projects. When establishing native plantings, weeding during the first 3 years is very important. Once the native plants become established, there is very little additional work needed. When the conservation practices are viewed as an amenity, the public is more willing to adopt and install them on their property. The crew members assisted us with quite a few sites this summer. They cleaned up the projects by pulling and spraying weeds and removing buckthorn. They also installed cedar tree revetments to stabilize the shoreline. They worked with the landowners on native plant identification and how to care for their practices and help the property owners build the confidence in their ability to continue the maintenance required for long-term success of their projects. Our office was awarded the grant to have the crew in Stearns County through the Clean Water Fund, which is provided through the Board of Water and Soil Resources as part of the 2008 Clean Water Land and Legacy Amendment. For more information on any of today's topics, please check out our website at www.stearnscountyswcd.net or call us 320-251-7800, extension 3, or you can like us on Facebook. This has been Wayne Cymbaluk with your Conservation Report.